privacy, you have your own things going on. And the questions I'm seeing are, what about respecting the parents' needs? How does that fit in? How would young adults prefer for it to be handled when they're not respecting the house norms, or one person in the group thinks differently? So let's segue to your advice about, addressing, kind of the people beyond you in the household that you're sharing. What's the best way to kind of navigate these, these sensitivities? Parents are asking you to respect a certain perspective or set of behaviors, a set of norms. Give us some sense, your feedback on that.
So like, when I got home, when we were talking about stress, like I didn't really relate that much, because my stress was when I was alone in New York having to like figure stuff out. And then I came home and like my mom buys groceries and like I don't have to pay my rent like here. So like I think my respect comes from knowing like my mom is taking on a lot right now, like as a parent. And so like I think it's important as a parent to like tell your kids that, because a lot of times your kids don't realize all the stuff that goes in to like creating a household that feels like a home. And so I think that's important. Like if you're a parent and you don't feel like you're getting the respect, um, my mom will be quick to tell you like, all these groceries you see right here, like you didn't get those. Like these lights right now, like they can go off real quick. So like stuff like that, like I feel like that's important. And like especially if your kids are older and they've been out the house for a little bit, I think they can understand that.
Yeah, Sky.
I just want to piggyback off of what he said, because I completely agree. And I think that now that I am an adult, the things that my parents have been trying to teach me to do, like do stuff without them asking, has gone a long way. Like putting the dishes away without them asking, or like helping with yard work without making a fuss about it. It's really just, I think that's something for like the young adult in the situation, like working together with your parents just makes everything a lot easier and like a lot less stress, and the parents have a lot more gratitude back, which like lowers the overall stress. And I think we feel more gratitude, like not having to pay for rent and not having to buy groceries, that it makes things a lot easier to work together.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, just to continue what with Sky was saying, I think for me, a really important way of recognizing what my parents do for me in the house has been taking initiative. So like whether it's cooking dinner or putting away the dishes or like folding the laundry, something like that. And I think it's also been a good way for me to sort of prove that even though I'm living at home now, I've still like had practice being an adult at school. So yeah.
Yeah, Clarice.
Yeah, I'll also speak to this because I have been out of the house, like financially independent for like 4 years now. And so coming back to this setting is very odd, but at the same time, I think it's really important and valuable for me to check in with myself to be like, okay, but let's think about this privilege that we have to have parents that will accept me and not charge me for rent and have a house that I fit in. And so like, I'm just trying really to balance that. And of course, there's going to be some frustrations because I'm living in an unfamiliar territory, like that hasn't been familiar for many years now. And then at the same time, my parents are like, oh, there's a child now again in our house, which we haven't had for a really long time. So just, I think doing these regular check-ins on my end and then asking of them and then trying to just be a lot more empathetic than I think my high school self would have been in this situation. Because this is such a high stress moment. Like we're living in a pandemic that's really stressful every day, even if we're not actively thinking about it. It's this weight that I feel personally. So I think just making space for both of those things is really important. And at least has helped me stay really sane since I've been back being like an adult now on my own. So.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say like, it's important for both young adults and parents to understand that like most of the frustration and stress that exists is at the pandemic and not like at the other like respective person, because like it's a stressful situation and we don't think about that often. And so if like someone's frustrated in the house, that may not necessarily be at their parent, but just at the situation. And so not taking everything personally, I guess, would be like something I would do.
Anne-Marie, do you want to check in here and say something to wrap up this question?
Well, I like what, this big idea here for me is like honoring one another's experience, right? So Clarice, what you were pointing to is like, I've been way out of the house and doing my own thing for a long time, and now I'm coming back in. It's weird when you're a freshman in college and you come back the first time, and then you're away. Like each of those steps out and then coming back in is hard for us to keep redefining our relationship. And so what you and Ashwath are both pointing at is like, can we just respect each other where we are? And you guys respecting us simultaneously, right? Like Sky, you're pointing out, helping our parents. You guys were all pointing out, how can I be respectful of, and it's respect is even, it's just a way, can I pay attention to what my parents are also going through and experiencing, right? Because we're all, Julie, to my word earlier, co-voyaging. Like as parents, we're constantly adapting to your new way of being in the world. And we have to adapt at the same time. So we need as much gratitude, grace, compassion, kindness, and space as you need. And so if we can give that to each other, it makes it so much easier for us. We're not perfect.
Go ahead, Robert.
I just want to say that I've discovered I have a whole newfound appreciation for grocery shopping. And not only how long it takes and how annoying it can be, but how often you have to go and how expensive it is. And that's like something I was totally ignorant about before. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
And to that point, in many of our households, we have elderly family members. They can't go out. We might have people who are immunocompromised. They can't go out. Our young adults are often the best people to put out there to go do the grocery shopping. And if you are that young adult who is basically the healthiest, least at risk in your household, for you to step up and say, hey folks, let me know when it's time to go grocery shopping. I'm happy to take on that task. Just to offer those kinds of offers. I'm seeing in the chat, somebody said, when our young adults do stuff without making a big deal, it feels, it feels amazing and the best gift.
Yeah.
It gives parents that sense of gratitude and relief, like, oh my gosh, they just offered to do this. That's so awesome. That's the way to really build up the points, that sort of that trust and that like, I'm in this with you. Like, I'm going to take on this task. We're getting a lot of great comments. Kudos to the young adults for their comments.
Julie, I see two questions kind of repeating themselves, and this one I think would be really good.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just trying to get through this. What a great group of young adults. Seriously, they're amazing. You can see here the maturity, self-reflection, and awareness. A lot of gratitude to y'all for sharing.